Robert L. White Jr., retired Lieutenant Colonel Army, and also Marine Corps enlisted sergeant.
So, what was it like being away from your family for that long?
It was hard.
Yeah.
You miss a lot of first.
Yeah.
I was there for birth of both of my kids. It's harder on the family because they know you're in harm's way, but they don't know you're not in harm's way 24/7 per se.
I don't really think I'd be able to do that, being able to go over there and just serve.
Everybody, it's different. Service isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
And some of your best soldiers, all of a sudden everything hits the fan and they turn out to be the worst soldier. So it's and your ones that were worst turn to be your best. And so you never really know. It's that stress level kicks in totally different for everybody.
Describe what it was like to be in active duty. Like, how was that?
Oh, to me it was fun. It was an adventure.
Yeah.
I didn't have your typical career. I mean, everything from a combat engineer blowing up demo to in the Marine Corps playing the band. In the Marine Corps playing the band, at the same time I was a machine gunner. Anything belt fed, I was an expert on. And that's like opposite end of the spectrum. Because in the Marine Corps, everybody's a basic rifleman first. That's the Marine Corps thing. And I wasn't just a rifleman, I was a machine gunner. And Army, like I said, combat engineer, adjutant general, administrative, to a band officer, to special operations. So it's not your typical one type career.
Yeah.
So I had fun. And when the fun meter pegged, I got out. I retired.
Is there any one day stands out as that would be your best day, I guess you would say? Or was there really...
Yeah, the best day, I think, I got to do Army. I do it Army first, make history in the Army.
Yeah?
And it was dealing with parachuting. We were filming Army Strong commercial, the one where they're jumping out of a helicopter, and I was a subject matter expert for it. And never in history Army has a round static line parachute and a square free fall parachute been on the same aircraft, same path, same altitude. Never has happened and never will happen again, how the regulations written. We were filming, I had a 16 millimeter camera on top of my helmet, and static line guy went out, 3 seconds, exactly at 3 seconds I was out the door also, and immediate through my chute and zipped around him for the way down. We did that twice. It's never been done in the history of the Army, and I did it twice. And it probably will never be done again. The other individual and I, we have a Army first and Army last.
It's definitely something.
So that was something to be, yeah, it was a monumentous day.
Yeah. What was your worst day while you were in service?
It was 9/11, and the reason being is just a few days before, the 30th of August, our parachute team was practicing jumping into Tampa Stadium there outside the base. And like I said, it was a practice, so nobody was there, just a work crew, about 8 people. And we were jumping in, and I was the 3rd jumper in the stadium. Well, the 2nd jumper in did a low hook turn in the end zone and got into the ground and ended up dying. And he was a Navy SEAL, good, real close friend. He's a good friend of mine. I JMPI'd him, which Jumpmaster inspected him. The last one I talked to him on the aircraft, followed him and saw the whole thing. And then on 9/11 was his memorial ceremony. While being a musician, I was the command's bugler. And the service was shortly after. We had already seen the towers fall. We already had worried about the Pentagon getting hit and the plane going down in the field in Pennsylvania. So all the emotions were churning already. And then you add the funeral service of one of your best friends. And that was like the hardest taps. I've played well over 800 taps in my career. And that was the one that stood out, and it was the hardest one. Made it through, played it letter perfect. And I was up in the balcony of the church by myself, and there's a camera crew there filming it for the family. And after they shut down, they came over, because as soon as I got done, you know, I did what I had to do with it. As soon as everybody started, I sat down out of view, and I actually physically lost it. You know, it happens because you lost a best friend, plus just America's been attacked, you know, in a home front, and everything's going on, and we didn't know what was going on in the Pentagon, what was happening there, a lot of, you know, sketchy information, and then just found out a few days later that two of my best friends in the Pentagon were killed, plus a 3-star general was a real close friend of mine from over in Germany, in Bosnia. He was a senior guy killed in the Pentagon. I found out his name was on the list. So the whole time frame, but that 9/11 was probably the worst day of my career. When I met the president the first time, it kind of just happened. The third ID was coming. When I met the president the first time, it kind of just happened. The third ID was coming back from Iraq, from the Iraq War, and they were due back, and they were put in for a president unit citation. The division was, and this was on, believe it or not, September 10th. I remember it very well, of 2003 or 2003, and I was going, it was getting, I had to personally walk this award through, and it was getting blessed. Secretary of the Army approved it, because that's the level of authorization. And then all of a sudden, they said, okay, you need to take this guy, you need to take this guy. Next thing I was in the Vice President's office. Next thing I was in the President's office at 3 in the morning,
Yeah.
explaining to him why Third ID got the President's citation, because he goes, I never saw it, I never signed it. And I'm explaining to him, well, sir, President 1956 delegated to the Secretaries of the Services authorization to approve the President's citation. He goes, oh, that's why I didn't see it. And so it was really interesting. It was a fascinating man.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you're awestruck with being in the office and just
Yeah.
it was a humbling experience.
powerful man in the world.
Exactly. And the second time I briefed him, it was kind of the same domino effect. It was during Pat Tillman's award for a Silver Star. The main question the president had was, can you give a Valorous Award for friendly fire? And the answer is yes. It's actually in the reg, because the friendly fire was meant for the enemy. It just, unfortunately, Mr. Tillman got caught in the crossfire. It happens. It's the fog of war. Then his next question was, okay, did we give him a Silver Star just because of his status of being a professional football player, or did he earn it? And I explained to him, no, it was definitely earned. The write-up is a classified write-up. Three-star generals read it. The Sergeant Major of the Army read it, and all four unanimously, not because of Pat Tillman, because the write-up. And I couldn't go into details with him, and even though I knew he probably had the right classifications, but in military security, with security clearance, just because you have the clearance doesn't mean you have a need to know.
Yeah.
And yeah, he probably had a need to know, but no one told me he was cleared, and so I didn't tell him the particulars of it, even though I knew what they were. I didn't tell him the particulars, but he took my word that it was good to go. And yeah, Pat Tillman to me was a hero. He did what he was doing, and he got caught in the middle.
What kind of medals did you get exactly?
Highest I got upon retirement was Legion of Merit, which is equivalent to a Silver Star.
Yeah.
And
how are you awarded the Silver Star?
Silver Star is combat.
Okay.
It's valorous. Legion of Merit can be valorous too, but it was for the time of service, 33 years. Most lieutenant colonels do not get that.
Yeah.
I was surprised when I was retiring and they gave me the Legion of Merit, because most retire at Meritorious Service Medal. I already had 4 of those, and the full-bird colonel I worked for put me in for Legion of Merit, and the general approved it, and he got signed up at the highest level and came back as a Legion of Merit. So I feel pretty honored about it, because that's being in charge of the military awards branch and knowing the significance of a Legion of Merit. That was pretty neat at my retirement ceremony.
I want to thank you for your service, especially since you 33 years.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It really was. I enjoyed it.